You're ready to sell your house, but you have to have a dye test. What is that? And is it going to cost me a lot of money? Stay tuned to find out. So your house is under contract, and there are things that are going to be required from the township or municipality in which your house is. Sometimes it's an occupancy permit or other thing like that. Sometimes it's a dye test. And if you have to have a dye test done where you are, you might be wondering, what is that? If you've not sold a house before, or if it was a long time ago and you forget. But what a dye test does is it looks to make sure that the water from your house is not intermingling stormwater with your sanitary sewer system. That can't happen. Those waters need to go into different places. And so they require a test to be done to make sure that that's not happening. And if it is, then the seller has to have that fixed. So costs. Sometimes if the municipality or township has their own people, they'll charge somewhere between $175 up to $275, maybe $300 for the paperwork to be done and their people to come out and test it. And if everything's fine, then that's it as far as cost goes. Sometimes that the municipality or township will just charge a minimal fee of $25, $50 for the paperwork to be processed, but you have to hire your own plumber that's certified to go out and do the dye test. And sometimes a camera scope is also, or a camera test is also required. And that's where they put the camera down and it kind of looks to see if there are tree roots or anything growing in that are going to impede any of those water systems. But if you have that, then the plumbers are about the same rate. They might be $200 to $300, somewhere in that range, to do the test. Now, this is just the test. And again, if it passes, it's a minimal cost. If it doesn't pass, it has to be fixed, or you can't sell the house. They will not transfer that deed. And unfortunately, sometimes those costs can be substantial, depending on how old the pipes are and the system is and all of that plumbing and what exactly the problem is. So if you haven't put your house on the market and you think you're in an area where this might be a problem, you might want to just go ahead and have that done. Have the dye test done. If there are no issues, great. But if there are issues and they're going to be costly, that's something you might want to take care of before you list it. Or if you're close to listing it, then go ahead and get it taken care of. I have had people buy houses that's being taken care of, and I've actually had sellers who were having that work done, and they put their house on the market, and because the buyers knew that that was going to be taken care of, it was not an issue at all. If you think you'll feel better knowing in advance and you haven't put your house on the market, then go ahead and do that. Now, if your house is already on the market and this is something that comes up, you have to look at it as this is part of the process. You can't make the sale without fixing those issues. So take a deep breath, do what you can. Maybe you're going to get a little bit less on the sale of that house, but if you want to sell it, it's one of the necessary evils. I hope that answers some questions about the dye test process, what it is, and how it can play out in the whole real estate process of selling your house. That's it for this week, short and sweet. Have a great week, and I will see you next Friday with another video. Make sure you subscribe at the bottom. If you have any questions, SharonRosa@kw.com. Certainly email me, and I would love to help out in any way I can. Have a great week.